You should never threaten your relationship by saying things like, I'm going to leave you, or if you do that thing, I'm out of here. But you also should always live in your truth. What does that mean? That means it is a very toxic habit and can be very manipulative, actually, to use tactics whenever you're at your biggest heights of anger or upset and frustrated and so forth, to go to your partner about things you have concerns with them with, or conflict that you guys just can't seem to resolve. And you get so mad and your emotions are so high to the point where you're so upset at them to where you start telling them things like, I'm out of here this time. I'm done. Like, you did this for the last time. I'm not dealing with this no more. I'm over it. I'm out of here. Or you go, you talk to that girl, you talk to that guy, you go out there, you go, to the thing with the fellas or with the ladies, whatever. I'm out of here. I'm done. Expect I won't be here when you get back. All that kind of stuff. Very, very toxic if you don't really want that relationship to end. I've said it in other videos before. If you ever threaten your relationship with things such as I'm leaving if you, then you better be willing to do it when it happens. You better be willing to stand on your word and actually carry through with it. Because every time you make comments like that, but you don't actually follow through whenever sad thing happens or things continue to be poor and bad, you're tearing down the actual bond that you have with your partner every single time, right? Yes, they may be doing something that is not healthy or messed up and gets you worked up to want to say that, right? But you're not helping your equation if you really don't want to lose that person by using one of the ultimate scare tactics, right? Because over time, your partner subconsciously starts to build a muscle in preparation for you leaving. But here's the thing. If you start preparing for someone to leave you, right? If you're the person that someone's saying that to, you also start to subconsciously detach yourself from them before you guys even get to that point, to where you start actually self-sabotaging your own potential to get your relationship back on track by using a very unhealthy means of trying to get a result out of your partner. And for some people, it's a means of control. It's like, I'll tell them to leave them. That'll scare them enough and get them into shape, right? But all you're doing is slowly but surely severing your bond more and more with your partner, to where they start getting themselves in the mentality of, well, I should slowly start looking for someone else. Or I'd heard this 1,000 times. And it also builds a certain level of resentment within them towards you, because every time you say that, you're rejecting them. It's rejection on some level, and it feels like you're disregarding them as a whole and their whole value, regardless if they are right or wrong for why you're saying it or whatever the case is. But what do we do though, right? How do you still live in your truth if that's the way you're feeling? It's all about how you say things, right? What's the whole saying? It's not about what you say, it's how you say it. How you say things matters, which means you have to give full substance on the things you're trying to articulate. See, people swear and think they communicate so well, but they rarely do, because they'll say the overall of what they kind of are feeling, but they don't break it down into all the nuances it goes into to what all comes along with those emotions. They'll say, I'm leaving, I'm out of here. But really what you're trying to say is, what you're doing is hurtful to me. I don't like it. I don't appreciate it. It concerns me, and it's rubbing me the wrong way. It's violating boundaries for me, boundaries that are there to keep me healthy, right? Standards I have to make sure I have sound mind in my emotions, right? That I am in a good, healthy space. What you're doing is infringing upon that. So if you continue to do that, then I'm going to feel I have no choice but to walk away, because what you're doing isn't healthy for me. That's what you really want to say to them. But what you're saying, what's coming out is, you go do that thing and I'm gone, right? And so all they hear is, because mind you, if they're doing the thing, they probably feel like what they're doing is somewhat justified or whatever, or they don't think it's as bad as it is or whatever. They're not seeing it to the degree, because if you know better, you do better. So if they're doing it, they don't know better. They might understand better to some degree, but they don't really know. So if they're doing it, they have a different perspective than you, or they're seeing it in a different way. And so if you're coming in guns blazing saying, I'm gone whenever you do this thing, then now they're going to turn around and get defensive, right? They're going to fight back because you're rejecting them in what you're saying. And it feels like an attack. So now they want to fight you back instead of working with you. This is why you explain things from a vulnerable space, which doesn't mean you get into a ball of tears. It means you talk about how you feel and what they're doing means to you, and why you have to make a certain decision if certain things continue to go on. You don't have to threaten a relationship to do that, but you can let someone know, I'm getting to a space to where I'm not feeling safe and secure in a relationship for XYZ reason. Because of these things you're doing, they're communicating to me this. They mean this to me. And that means I'm not safe and secure here any longer. And I might not be in a good position if you continue forward. And if we can't come to some sort of a conclusion or get back on the same track, I may have to walk away if these things continue. I don't want to walk away from you, right? Tell them what you don't want as well as what you do want. I want us to be great. I want us to be amazing, but I may have to walk away if you don't stop this. I don't want that, but that's what I'm willing to do if we can't find some compromise. Improve your ability to speak through what you really want to communicate versus the emotional reflex that comes out, and watch your results change. Let's get it.